Audio is good. Audio is good. Should be. Should work. Audio is good. All right. We're gonna play rapid games. What else do we play? Bingo. We playing rapid. We'll see what happens. Explaining the moves as we go along. 5 years ago, that's okay. G6. G6. Modern defense. Modern defense. 2455. Not a bad rating though. So E5, F6, F4. Or you could take. You could take. Supposedly here. Takes. Supposedly here, this G4. It's all about the speed. Maybe I could do this. Control the diagonal. We're controlling the diagonal. Something like this may work. Controlling the diagonal seems to be key. What else do you have here? Bishop d3, this still knight here. This queen f3, maybe castles, and then we are threatening knight takes d4. The rook would attack the queen. It's all a dream. It's all a dream. It's all a dream. Knight f3. You could still get hit by the wind here because of the knight e3. He still wants to play g4 because the knight cannot go here. He just takes. But we could go here. He cannot castle for some valid reasons, you know. Obviously, castling is illegal. That there's a problem here. So if knight e4. Wait, what? G4? I mean, first of all, there's knight takes. There's also queen takes. That's a very weird move. Queen takes. You don't have knight a4. Here, you just stick with check. So that works. That wins. Supposedly winning. I don't know what g4 is all about. I guess he had to do like knight e4, queen e5. And maybe he lose a piece anyway, c3. So maybe it's not working the way... Alright, we take. We should be up in exchange. Supposedly he takes here. Bishop takes. The bishops are coming in. When I take on c2. Surprised that he's playing on though. Should be enough material here. We castle long. There's also we castle short. We also have bishop c2. I'm just gonna play here. This bishop e4 even. This is a little terrible. There's here. There's here. You name it. Bishop g2. I guess. He plays here, which big deal, I guess. Bishop e4. Bishop g2. So we may want to take here, rook takes f2. It's just too much. This may lead to like exchange pieces in favor for me. I'm just up an exchange in a good way. Next move is here. I mean, it's very fascinating. He's playing on 2300. He should consider resigning, but we could still play on. He could still play on. This one's defending f2. Alright, we take. We check. This is horrible. Horrible is one way. Yeah, he resigned. I mean, I don't know why he was playing on. He was playing on as if there's something going. We won. Nice start. Not much to explain though. I mean, he blundered heavily on the opening and oh, 7 years. He's fine. G6 again. It seems to be success. I don't like D3 here because you're already giving up some scope here, and C5 even. We actually controlling the center. This may transpose to like Sicilian, but it's always good though. We have bishop G4. H3. Let's play here. Potential B5. Be right back, folks. I'm just want to see one thing. Be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. All right, what did he do? H4? Wait, what? What is H4 here? Doesn't make sense. Maybe H3 though, because this you're giving up weak square for no reason. Bishop G4. We're keeping this pin. It's not as serious as it looks like. Maybe a knight F1, knight E3. This actually feels like a good plan. Even knight H2. So knight here is a good move. You get the bishop across. That's actually typical when you play here. The idea is knight d2, knight f1, knight e3. You're looking at the center, toward the center. I mean, if he doesn't do it, then I don't... Yeah, that's actually the idea. Why not? Since I played rook b8, Mesa's follow-up was my idea. I mean, why not d5? So he has to play here. Knight h2 is not bad as well. I actually feel like it's okay. So now I have to make a decision. I think I have to take. Knight takes maybe. That's the point. Bishop takes will be slightly off. Alright. G4 remains a square that I could take control over. It's not like I cannot. Alright, let's... We're going for an attack somehow that it doesn't exist. Maybe it's like e4, and then maybe try to go for e3, connecting with the bishop over here. It's all a dream though, but it's potential I could play like this. I mean, he could even do here, maybe knight g4. Then you're really attacking b2. I mean, I wanted to play knight g4, but I was hesitant to do that. Oh, he could do this. Supposedly I could even take rook takes knight d7. We attack here, knight b6. We'll go for it. Now it opens up for the rook though. Can't be bad. So here, so we could gain a tempo, we are attacking here. But another tempo is knight b6, and maybe even knight d4. So now I'm attacking here directly. Maybe b3, but look at this bishop here. That bishop is... Actually, this may be winning an exchange, doesn't it? Knight b6, knight here, knight b4. This e1 is hanging though. Maybe bishop c3. It should still work. You cannot go... Or you could do here. Yeah, you could do here. Almost wins an exchange. It looks real. It looked real. But the rook doesn't belong to e3 though. I mean, it feels like. But a5 could become a problem. Supposedly here, bishop d2. Alright, we'll play here. Heck with this. See what he does. He could take. And then we could change plans. I'm not sure if this is what I'm doing is best. It doesn't look like it's entirely best idea though. Have to watch out for this diagonal. But I like this diagonal for black. Don't we all like this kind of diagonals? I mean, these diagonals are pretty strong. Very strong diagonal. It's one of the best. It's good. But we're not really attacking a single piece yet. But it's still, diagonals are pretty strong. We could make it work somehow. That we could try to attack a piece, even though it's invisible, but we'll try. I mean, you could argue that knight here, knight takes, knight c3. With the help of the bishop, things could get really good. I still believe h4 is like a wasted move. It's probably costly. So the idea is pretty simple. Knight takes, maybe. Yeah. So he plays here. I actually like this move a lot because I'll open up for bishop here. So he does have a strong idea in mind. This move does make sense. I may have to take with a rook here, so he doesn't have this strong diagonal. So if he takes some annoying knight c3 though. What to do? What to do? It's possibly here, tempo. Or here. I'm not sure if I like this bishop move. Maybe here. Maybe he was concerned about f6. So knight c3. We attack the queen. So now there's some concerns about some weak squares here. So maybe even knight d5. We may want to take this bishop or bishop c3. I mean, there's no good idea with knight sitting on c3 alone. So maybe it's here, even though I'm allowing this kind of stuff. There's maybe here that I'm looking at. At the same time, I'm attacking here. I mean, maybe this is still like somehow wacky draw somehow. That maybe white is fine after all of this. May still do this. May still do bishop g5 to my surprise here. Let's do it though. If you want to do it, you do it. Don't be scared. But what's your step though? What's your step? Magnus won today, right? Magnus versus Firouzja. Magnus remains a beast. What is rook b1 though? I mean, you coming here? We could also try the other knight over here. We could try and go for after like c2. Those will take, queen takes. There's also bringing that we could do this, blocking access to the rook, which makes rook b1 really silly though. You know, I want him to play c4 because this would weaken up his position a lot more because he could take. You could take that way. Bishop h6. Makes sense. Oh, you could take. Ooh, you could take. All right, maybe we could play. Actually, c3 here. All right, let's do this. We attack the queen first. This is probably the proper way of doing it. Attack the queen. And then rook e8 perhaps. So maybe I'm going after c2. That's actually the point. Should we win it somehow? I mean, if you play really passively like queen d1, then maybe rook e8, you bring back the bishop. The idea is you bring the other, you're still looking at knight c3 in some line. But I didn't feel like I should trade here. I'm just kind of helping him out. So this is a way to like avoid the trade for now. Maybe trading for white maybe makes sense in a way. So the pressure would be less so, and he would be easily able to like do not have to worry about c3 being a lot weaker than it that it looks, and c2 maybe defend it once you trade a lot of pieces, right? So I still need to keep some pieces on the board to maintain something for me. But he's looking for trades. But here's the issue: c2 is hanging. But that gets the rook activated. c2 is hanging only if I take, because if I take here, it's queen takes d5. Then you grab a pawn and you leave a piece. And it's the same thing as queen takes. He's also attacking the rook. I think his knight takes, and then if I were to go here, his bishop takes. Also, the rook is under attack. So here. The real question is, could I go for rook e8? Go for this line and rook here. I don't care so much about this. All right, let's trade. Assuming knight takes. Even though blocks the bishop access on h6, because maybe he wants to go to knight e4. Maybe knight e4 is a big move. But again, c2 in some lines hanging, so you have to be careful. Knight takes. Yeah, that's. So he's attacking here. That's the reason why I said rook e8. Rook e8 or rook e8. Rook e8 is just feels like iffy, because the bishop is attacking d5. I mean, let's say rook e8 is rook takes b4, for example. Like when you take here, bishop takes, you take with the bishop, bishop takes d5, pawn takes, bishop takes d5. So rook e8, as much as you want to try to get, you want to play rook e2 or something, taking control over the file, this is more safe for rook e8. So now he doesn't have this because I take with the knight. He doesn't have bishop d5. If I take with a bishop or pawn, it's bishop takes d5. There's cheesy differences, Cheesy differences. But I think it's knight e4. The goal of knight e4 is to keep maybe attacking d6. Maybe this is the goal, to get the knight at a better square, so the bishop would not be stuck on h6. Something along those lines. And if you go for c2, he goes for d6. Oh wow, he took? That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. Supposedly this is not bad. I was about to play rook e6 and I forgot about rook b8. Forgetting about some moves here. Do I have to play rook d8 now? That's not part of my plan. Alright. May have screw up this one a little bit. Knight takes, bishop, knight takes, rook here. This is gonna be a fun even here. It's interesting. Oh, he cannot do this. There's no point of doing this. You just want to play more toward the active squares on here. This is active attacking here. check. Do we get anything from this check? So maybe I shouldn't check and go here knight f5. So attack the bishop, but bishop g5. I may have to play f6, but he may play c3 though, which complicates things for me. c4. Okay, we could play f6. Hopefully I'm not blundering this. Oh, he could play here? That's great. I'm offering him a draw, but he may just play on. Alright, d5. It's probably forced. He doesn't want to take the draw. That's fine. So the idea is takes, rook d4. And if he takes rook takes d5. He pursued was actually g4. Tough move. He's gonna take. Welcome aboard. Except the knight cannot take on b6. You can take here though. He's gonna play here. That's great though. He did not find it. Takes. Okay, how this is for a game? Check. It's all trouble here, I guess. May have to play here precisely here. So when he goes here, it's king f7. 1 minute chess. We're gonna play bullet now. It's great. And I'm down on time. Just like Firouzja was down on time against Magnus. I'm down on time. Wait, what? That's how he wants to proceed. He probably wants a draw. He cuts a king, but no biggie. No entry. Well, there is actually entry. G5. Trying to understand what I'm doing here. He's gonna play G5. G5 stellar. "30 seconds. You cannot defend this. I cannot defend this. 30 seconds is kind of rough. It's probably a draw. Accept the draw now, or we flag you. Watch out. What's your step, though? What's your step? . After a draw, I did my best. What else should I be doing? It's up to you. It's up to you. What happens when people doesn't take the draw? Do you lose? Again, he lost the rook. I offered a draw twice. I offered a draw twice. I offered him a draw twice, and I couldn't offer him at the last second because I could have flagged. My concern was a flag. By the time I would click, and then I would flag. I would easily flag. Oh, we're doing some educational games here. I'm playing people. You probably need to catch me on Twitch, where I could play viewers, but you have to subscribe though. I play people and explain the moves. More rapid games. If you're up there higher and you're close to my rating, well, then we could play, I guess. Then we could play 25. Well, I'm in the pool. You could try 10 minutes. Maybe you could play. Maybe we could play. Yeah, so it's actually this last game. It's actually a draw with the right play, of course, the rook ending. But instead of him playing this rook ending, he could have played on. This is you? It must be you. G6. G7. C6. So I'm playing Gary here. So D5. D5 comes in. C4. It should be 3. It should be 3. It's all a plan. All plans here. A lot of plans here. Just one time, one of my opponents in the past, especially after c6, he played like e4, and he was like 2700, and I was like, "What is e4?" Was it e4 or e3? It was something like e3, and then some kind of I played d5, e5, f6, and then he traded knight takes, and then some kind of b4, and I was like, "What the heck was this all about?" So it was kind of weird. So here e5, where you could castle and I could take knight c3. It's probably e5. f6, bishop f4, takes f6, takes knight, takes f6. A lot of good options here. This is also playable. We can play bishop g4. I have to be careful because maybe bishop g4 is misplayed. e6 could become weakness. I'm not sure if it's here, but I don't think it's here. So takes, bishop takes. But then here, knight f6, and then we castle, and that could be a problem after knight d7. Is it knight d7 or castle first? That's actually the good question. It's probably castles. So we have like knight e4 or knight d7. So he plays queen e2, getting out of the fire. Except I'm the fire itself. What's the fire? What's your step? Maybe you don't want to do this. Maybe he needs to keep the bishop here. Wow, f4. That's actually a very interesting move. I could take a knight h5, and this is very typical. The knight h5 is very interesting. As a matter of fact, maybe knight h5 right away. Bishop takes. It's always some ideas. Oh, we're gonna take. And here. So typically this could be annoying for white. There's a lot of like potential squares, even queen b6. You could possibly take. He wants to play here, but that's fine. That's fine. We could play here. We're surrendering here. That's the reason why it's annoying. Maybe knight f3. I mean, yeah, I know he's trying this. He's trying this. He wants this move. We could play here. All right. What to do? Rook f8 is rook f1 though. There's no point of this move right now. There's also here or here. I'm trying to figure out which one is best. Which one is best? It's probably here. So he doesn't have rook f1. We're actually attacking the knight. We are attacking the knight. This is probably a draw somehow, but it should be draw. It looks pretty boring. I mean, it's a legitimate draw offer. There's probably not much going on. But people play for the rating. So do you look at the difference of the rating that they play on? Typically, this is a draw. I mean, I might be concerned of how he proceeds. Let's say he plays here. We might be talking about knight g3 and some kind of rook f8, but still feels rook f8, not rook g8. It's possibly still draw to me. I mean, even if he plays c4, some kind of e6. There's also like knight f4. I mean, this may still get really spicy. That's the reason why I offer a draw. I mean, it could get really active for black. I mean, look at this. He declines it. He declined the draw. They declined the draw. Maybe they're still forcing it somehow. Unless he goes for this. This is like double check, but it doesn't do a damn thing. Maybe it's knight e4. It's knight e4, so he doesn't go here. Knight f2. And it's funny that knight f2 is mate. Like here, knight f2. So here it may. So he's gonna go here. It may still be the same stuff. We'll see. Play here. Play king h3. This is where you want to do. That's you trying to escape. Knight f2 would be nice. So it's actually check here with a bishop. And that's the reason why I like when he plays h4, all these moves, it's still difficult to kind of escape this kind of stuff. I mean, he doesn't want to draw, but he might be risking. All right, king g1. Check. Potentially goes here. So here, king e1. It's funny that he doesn't want to draw. I mean, this is actually like textbook kind of draw. But I mean, even if he wins, I don't care. But positionally, this is a draw. You know, He could win only once. I mean, that's if he wants to win a position like this, he could win it. So this may be the only way to try to win, but he's just risking taking here. Or we go to opposite call bishops, right? Which now he's maybe taking the draw. Bishop here. Actually, actually, it's bishop c1. And if you play here, it's bishop b2. Again, I'm actually shocked by what he's trying to do here. Just now he wants a draw. We'll give him, maybe we'll give him a draw, but we'll wait for he made me wait, right? The man made me wait. The man made me wait for some time. The reason I'm playing on because this is dark squares pawns. One mistake and it might be black is winning. I mean, I'm a pawn. It's still dry thing, but if he figure out what to do, I should probably take the draw, offer him a draw. But again, he was being impolite when I offer him a draw once or twice, and he declined it. And now he wants a draw because he's down a pawn. I mean, why didn't he take it in the first place? That's a question. So here takes. Supposedly that's the right way. Let's play here. It's probably a draw, of course. I mean, I cannot get carried away here, and he just takes here. He just takes. He's not going to take. This is actually maybe fascinating in some ways. Maybe that's still playable for black. Couple moves. For example, what to do here? Do you really slow playing the position like a5? Because maybe there are some, I could put my pawn in g5. Okay, king d2, or I could even play c4. But again, c4 doesn't really help my situation much because the pawns are really attackable on e6. We trade one pair, but we'll see what happens. One pair of pawns. You don't want to do this, of course, because the bishop could take it. He might do this somehow, and if bishop here, king here. I mean, this is still draw to me, but I'm just seeing how effectively he could. If he goes back, you talk about bishop c3, and then this is where it's winning. But this still feels annoying though somehow. So bishop c3, still draw, but he's just moved the bishop now. Yeah, makes sense, sir. Makes sense. But we need to play g5. The problem is e6. I mean, I cannot really find anything to counter it. Not quite. Not yet. Not yet, sir. Trying to get b5 in. I'm not sure if I'm able to. I mean, e5 is kind of like it would be 100% draw. The real question if I could sack somehow. I don't think it works. It doesn't really work in situations like this. Okay, so he's allowing b5, but it's not enough for me to win. Not enough for me to win. Wait. That's interesting choice. Why did he do this? Maybe here. I don't know if this move is good, but this move. Maybe if I could get here, but it's still draw, I think. Still draw though. It's still draw. You could try this, but dynamic stuff here. Dynamic stuff. He kind of made it a little bit complicated, slightly complicated for him. Slightly, not like by much. But. So check. Supposedly here, yeah. Trying to maneuver, like here, but he's not allowing any kind of maneuvering. Some kind of maneuvering here, but the problem was b4. He doesn't really take. But hold on a second. Should b4. Do a boomer. Okay, let's try this. Bishop b4. I'm not going to outplay him here. It's not going to outplay him here. B2. No, it's still not winning him. I think it's still a draw. It's close, but we'll take a look at it. We'll take a look at it after the game, but I feel like it's still. All right, give him a draw. However, a draw, he's not taking it, so that's the type of guy I'm dealing with here. So okay, you don't want to take a draw. Okay, that's it. That's fine with me though. That's fine though. It's now we might be talking about winning. Your idea, I guess. Now we might be winning. Take. I stream in both. I do both separately though. Okay, where to go? Check. That's a winning line. Hold on, this is still iffy though. You move. You move, sir. That's actually opposite color. Bishops for you. It's not removing now. Trying to trick him. Bishop c2 is probably costly. He's trying to do this. I just promote. Classic way of trying to get this pawn. Your move, man. No hint. No hints. No hints here. No hints. Should be 4 king f1. He's probably gonna run out of moves. Not quite. Not quite. Play g4. It's ridiculous. All right. Now we could push. Now we could push. No, that would do. I'm nearly like pre-moving though. It's just I have to be careful about pre-moving because he could still draw this. No draws here. It's all right. Going to the other side of the board. Oh, I missed my chance, king d2. Yeah, so I just want to see this move that you're talking about. You're saying around here, right? You mean b3, right? It's not winning now. You mean here, right? It's not winning. It's close, but not winning. The problem is he makes us do like here. That's actually the problem. Bishop c2. He doesn't have to move his king. And this is clear draw to me, actually. I mean, here it's like there's no improvements. So which line again? Which moves? I felt like this is actually the one you're talking about, b3. That was my opportunity when I pushed the pawn. Oh, when I had 3 pawns? Okay, you talk about later? Yeah, so later... Yeah, this is winning. Oh, b3 here also. Yeah, this is winning. This is all winning here, yeah, that's... Yeah, there's no doubt this is winning. Oh, wow. b2 is a draw. Oh, I had to play here and... King d1, bishop e5, king c1, bishop c3, king d1, and knight here, king here. Oh. b2 is a draw, which is funny. Yeah, so b2 I could see why it's a draw. Bishop b3, and I cannot find a way to exactly what he did. So what he did is actually a draw. Yeah, so here it's a draw. That hurts. So bishop c2 is a blunder, so he had to do like king e2, yeah. So you keep the king and bishop rotated in a way that the pawn is not going anywhere. But when he plays here, then I could go for the other pawn. Yeah, this is actually winning. But b1 is not winning. And this is where it gets... I mean, my time was terrible. He was also trying to flag me, and I couldn't figure out what to do. So king g3 is actually the winning one. So Yeah, the difference is huge because if you play bishop c2 now, he's just taken. This is actually like 3 pawns now, and it's yeah. So here you cannot move the king per se because d3, and then you take. Supposedly you take on g4 and it's winning. So there's a reason why it's winning here, and I could tell the difference. The 2 pawns are like widespread from the king. This is not easy to hold. You probably need the pawns close, like around here. You could see that the pawns are close. The king is closing in. So this the files between the pawns are kind of. This is actually a draw. I mean, I knew this kind of like draw when I was playing it, but the other one is not. I mean, actually here it's winning, but if I had more time, I'd probably figure out why it's winning. But to be fair, the game is draw though. Like the game itself is a draw. Like I was never winning. So technically when I offer him a draw, he should have just took the draw. We're not playing bullet chess. We were playing rapid for a reason. So when I offer him a draw here, he's just played on, and it's just for the rating purposes. And there's no winning here. It's just all right, no winning. One more game. Downpour. Hey, how's it going? I just saw you. Hey, how's it going, Downpour? You came here. Wow, how long you been here? White king stuck to d4. Oh, you were the one talking to me. Oh, looks winning if you play b2. Yeah, I mean it was winning anyway. Like in general, I mean, but I think the game itself is a draw. My mindset is like it's always a draw. What 26? How does people get this ratings? All right. Last game though, we'll see if we could keep up with the 2600 guy. All right, g6, g6 here. I'm doing good. We should be streaming later tonight as well. Streaming at Twitch. Yeah, I know. It's kind of difficult for me. A lot of resources. Even I know there's a cloud sync that I could use. I wanted to like separate the content in general. I mean, so it doesn't become like it's the same thing that you're trying to broadcast. I try to like even with my videos on YouTube, they are different from the ones on Twitch. They are different from the ones are streaming on YouTube. So I try to like divide them into different. So it's appealing. It's not gonna be the same stuff that I'm doing. Popular streamers could do anything, including music. You could even play music, and even if they have it on demand, there's one friend that I had that he played video music, copyright music, and he had it on video on demand. It was muted. He still got caught because I don't know why, but for some streamers, it's okay. You could do it. I give it some thought though. Like maybe I could do it, but you know. But it may be beneficial. Like you have the same thing and on Twitch, YouTube, same time. I think with Lichess, it still works. I suppose you could do it like it's probably if you're streaming a Lichess, you could do it like in YouTube and Twitch same time, but not much beneficial. I think I felt like I'm trying to divide the content as much as possible. So knight g4 actually pops in my mind. Maybe it's here. Then we have here. I'm actually surprised by what I'm seeing. Maybe knight g4 and queen b6. Knight g4 seems to be good. Maybe it's here, yeah. Lesson of today's stream: don't decline draws. Yeah, it will backfire, yeah. Now the position was drawn though. I mean the guy is he's trying to win a position that is completely. I mean, you could do it, but it's not the nicest way. I mean, I know Magnus was playing Firouzja maybe in the couple games. Magnus had a way to flag Firouzja, right? It was a rook ending. Was it the king ending where he played king h3? There was somehow a weird win the computer was giving, and Magnus just simply took the draw. He felt like it was classy that he should never beat Ferrugia like this. He actually does have some respect for him, believe it or not. Like I think Magnus does respect Ferrugia in a big way. So he didn't feel comfortable like flagging him that way. I mean, he could easily flag him, but he did not do that. I felt like that was nice. I mean, he could beat him straight up, right? I mean, he could put him pressure on the clock. That's okay. But beating him in a top player in the world beating each other like this is not really recommended. You could do it in a blitz game or bowl games, but you don't need to do it in a stage like that. In a tournament like this. So this feels like the position that we are having here. This feels like I have the two bishops here. Everything looks interesting. Maybe bishop f5. Yeah. It looks, yeah, there was some kind of a win. And somehow king c2 was a blunder. Yeah, it was kind of interesting ending. Yeah, I think even Magnus did not play it properly. They both didn't play it properly with the king moves. And it wasn't easy to see. It figured like, it seemed like it didn't matter, but it does matter in a pawn ending like this. It does matter. All right, we play here, attack here. He might castle here, b5. Yeah, the rook, the guy with the rook, I actually offer him a draw. Didn't I offer him a draw? Yeah, I wanted to offer him a draw at the very end, but my flag was, I mean, it was out of the boat. Yeah, and it just feels like people are just, there's some weird trend happening. It's happening all across. Like don't care. Like I don't mind losing games. Sometimes I win like on time. I could do it, but not all the time. Like if I know the player, I typically could take a draw, and sometimes even when people like when they are away from the game, and like when you first started the game, I would lower my time intentionally so that I don't get people doesn't do this anymore, and that they just play for the rating most of the time. Even some strong players, unfortunately, they do this kind of stuff. I mean, if you want to go for the rating so bad, I mean, you could find a way, but you don't have to do it that way. But it just seems to be a weird trend. But what could you do? People want the rating. It almost feels like Yahoo chess in the past, where people have like 4,000 rating and they just go for the engine. Kind of remind me by this, but back at the days. All right, so he castled long. I was considering b5. It's probably b5. So we could play here. a3. I wish the bishop was sitting on b6. My bishop on g7. Bishop on g7 is not doing much. All right. It's actually knight h4. Well, that's fine. We're probably playing here. That's the reason why I did not. I mean, maybe b4. That's the reason why knight a6 is maybe b4 in some lines. Supposedly, if he takes, knight takes, we are attacking here and still rook e1. But the reason I said I wish bishop was sitting on b6 because there's some neat idea where bishop b6 here, and maybe even b4, like around here. b4 even if the bishop was on b6, but we're not playing crazy house here. We're not playing crazy house or bug house. This is a 2600 player. I just want to go back because something weird happened in this line. So he took this way, allowing knight g4. I mean, I feel like maybe black is better here. Black should be better, but that shouldn't happen in this line like this. But And we have a b4. That's actually interesting. We do have a b4. That's what we call interesting. That's what we call interesting. Interesting move though. Let's dance. Let me need my knight over here. Now I'm changing ideas. I'm not sure it's best. I mean, I looked at knight d4 and I'm not sure how I meet this move. h3, really? What is h3 though? I mean, I see g4, but it's not attractive looking. I mean, knight d4 wasn't the move. Knight d4 now. Alright, this choice is clear. He decided on knight d4 now. I wonder if I go finesse, knight e4. Let's dance. Let's dance. I'm allowing 96. He just moved the rook though. What's the point of this move? He just moved the rook. He doesn't even have to take. He doesn't even have to take. That's funny though. He does not have to take. I'm not sure what I'm doing, so e4 is now like crisis. Oh, that's how we do it. That's how we do it. Probably the other rook. The other rook. Take here. The story is not clear. So supposedly if he takes on e7, there's bishop f8. So you move the rook, you're getting hit by that one. But it's not clear. He went for it. That's actually kind of interesting. I'm not entirely sure if he had to do this. So we take here, and we are also attacking e3. This is actually very questionable stuff by him. There was no obligation. I guess he wanted to keep the... He wants a pass pawn. He wants a pass pawn, but I also have a pass pawn, believe it or not. Still e4 is still happening here. e4. So obviously if you take on e4, you're getting hit by rook takes. Bishop takes here coming in. He's turning into something else. Takes. Bishop c5. How dangerous this is. It's dangerous. Why should I block my bishop like that? All right, I have to do it this way. Interesting take. It's actually I miss this move. That's awfully wrong. Now I have to deal with these pass pawns. He played b6. He's not gonna play here, of course. Here we have check, we grab this pawn, and it's not even clear that this is it's not even clear. This check here, it's crazy. What happens on here? What happens? No time to think, pretty much. Makes a lot of sense to me that this should be winning for him. King b1. The problem here maybe is I don't even have this. I mean, that's actually part of the equation here. That I don't even have this check here in one move. That would do. That would do. Make coming. Resign. This actually, this is actually a draw like 20 years before, if not me better, before, around around here. Yeah, rook takes c7 is not the best move. Supposedly because of here, bishop takes b4. He doesn't have to take here. He was better, I think, here. Perhaps around here, he was better. But before, we're gonna go before because I wanted to check rook takes c7 because I felt like this is like crap. And c4, I think the bishop c5. Yeah, should have probably went with bishop c5. And then it's easier from here. This is still draw somehow. It's probably not as easy draw, but still draw. Now, before, around here, I mean, I could also go back, but I think around here, bishop e4 is terrible. I think maybe just some kind of, the computer wants g5. So if you go for this, rook takes, you were trying to weaken up this pawns as much as possible, but even after bishop d3, there's some crazy knight c4. That's actually the idea. So if you take, bishop takes, and this is where it gets complicated. Something like here. White's probably still better here, slightly better. But I actually questioning my queen knight a6. So maybe here it becomes critical after bishop f5. So supposedly here, so b5 is the right continuation. e3. Then I should have won was knight d7. Yeah, that's actually a bad choice of a move, knight a6. So knight here, and then some kind of, let's say, h4, which I'm still not clear on it. h5, knight d4, then knight e6. It's probably a draw here, makes sense. It's probably balanced enough here. You don't want to take here because this kind of like throw the, you know, the advantage away if there's anything going. I mean, there's no advantage going on. It just feels like this one is maybe scary looking, but and it's funny that the computer. Let me say if it's here, then black it still draws somehow, but it's funny that it's giving me knight takes b5. I mean, I was concerned about this kind of stuff during the game, but the idea is you play rook here, and there's maybe enough pawns, but what's funny is black sacks a game. Black sacks, not a game, but he sacks in return. So you go for this, and he plays this kind of stuff. Bishop c4, and then king h8. King h7, king h8. And then e4. It becomes a boring opposite color bishops. You know. And you still take on e4. That's how you draw the game. But I actually wanted to go on the opening because there's something very unusual he did. I mean, so around f6. So this is fine though. Supposedly bishop g4 was a move. Yeah, here's what I meant. That's one of the reasons I was surprised by his choice. So it's not bishop e2. I don't understand bishop e2. It's h3 though. You want to play this because once you play knight f5, it's bishop f2. Typically, white in this kind of positions are pretty. I mean, I would argue that, you know, maybe in a blitz game it could work out for black, maybe. But the problem is h3 was never played. He went for bishop e2. And, you know, I could take here even though it was not the best move. But and also around here, it's f takes, which is another funny part. Supposedly here is after knight g4, you may actually play bishop g5. It's entirely different version from the game. Maybe this is okay for white, of course, looks like +1. He went with the wrong pawn grab, and this is actually, I feel like this one is terrible for so many reasons because of knight g4, and black doesn't have problems anymore. And it's funny the computer wants this. That's how things are. And this feels like black is completely comfortable after here, queen b6. So it likes my choices here, and So it's funny that from 2600, was he 26, that he's actually allowing all these kind of play where you had like h3, which you basically avoiding knight g4, so the bishop would not be taken as fast, or and also like cutting corners for the knight on knight h6. So it's something like here bishop f2 and then there's potential g4 if you're not really careful. Um, but he went with bishop e2, and when I was talking, I was like, this has to be wrong. I mean, bishop g4 is an engine move, but also like this move comes into mind, like knight g4, like takes on knight g4. I guess maybe knight g4 was this maybe right away is bishop queen d2 is also very possible. I don't think bishop g1 is possible here because you could take. There's actually some issue here. You could take on e5, and then we are back to this is actually slightly better. Somehow it's equal, but. Now this could get really dangerous, I think, in the long term. I don't think many people handle this position very well from White's perspective, because now you have to worry about knight e3 and all this kind of stuff. You can still defend this position, by the way, but I actually like this for black. There's no need to get this bishop h6 like that. But yeah, the game is balanced, but again, was it bishop f5? Bishop h3 was also a move. And then rook g1 and knight d7. So it feels like here it's pretty equal. I mean, here it's like black has nothing to worry about. I would rather like play black here, potential like the two bishops, even though like bishop on g7 is not the active bishop in this line specifically here. But it just feels like black is more comfortable to play like this, and I'm like, my choice of move was kind of horrendous. Like knight e6 does not really add up very well. I actually feel like b4 kind of, it was also an engine move, but and it once knight c7. I actually felt like it was my second choice, knight c7, and then I felt like this may be a problem. Actually, after king b2, my bad, king b2, and if knight e6, I felt like the bishop on f5 was kind of stuck, and that's the reason why I did not play knight e6. But I feel like maybe knight c7, knight e6 is, if it works out, then black is fine. But my concern was the bishop f5. The bishop maybe is fine here. Maybe I overestimated this position for white, like giving white enough credit here. Yeah, this feels like after h6. I mean, even if you're trying to go for the bishop, you might get hit by g5. And now we may have different conversation that black is really trying to make a comeback in a better way. I mean, a move like this could be concerning for white. But yeah, maybe knight c7. Yeah, maybe knight c7. I just was blown away by b4. Like, I couldn't understand the idea. It's just because it does give a weakness on a3. It's funny that this is still drawn. Knight b8 and it's a draw. Somehow this is still drawn though. All these moves are drawn. And it doesn't like knight d4 because of g5. Yeah, it wants rook e1. So you keep an eye on this pawn, and rook c8. Rook fc8. And again, this feels like an equal position. I don't disagree with that. Oh, it's a good game anyway. I mean, we are still like 27 something, 2471. That's not a bad rating at all. But I'm not fan of, I always tell people I'm not a fan of having a high rapid rating online. If you have a high rating in classical, that's always good, but online not so much when it comes to rapid specifically. You're not gonna find a lot of opponents. So if you are 2500 doing like -100 or -50, let's say you do -25, -50, you're not gonna find much opponents in rapid. And also the potential cheating goes up, like the trend, and the potential people that are tedious, who's not taking draws, also going way up. But so keeping it within 24, high end 23, it's for me it's more than reasonable. I mean, I don't think there's But having a high blitz rating is okay. Maybe it's a different story, right? Blitz games, bullet games are different, but rapid specifically is a different story. You don't want to have like a super high, because some of the students, I always tell them, do not really look at the rating per se when it comes to rapid. Just make good moves and look, see what your opponent is trying to do and come up with your own plans. Do not look at the rating like, as you know, I beat a lot of people today. My rating went up like 100 points. Do not look this way for it. But if it becomes classical, yes, classical does matter. When you play over the board tournaments, you win 5 games in a row in a let's say Saturday Sunday kind of event, and that's very good, right? Uh, Even if it's like against lower rated players, still wins it is a win. But rapid is different story when you're a really high player, high rated player. Even if you're learning player, it's still potential cheating and all this kind of stuff could become a problem. But nevertheless, we always tell people to play rapid for slow chess as much as possible. So it's also necessary. But I'm just talking about the people who are having a high rating. Just like my opponent, it's one good example. He was 2600. Who did he play? He played me, because he couldn't find somebody. If he did minus five, 100, that's 2500. That's 2500. Was he 2500 or 26? Because I played somebody yesterday who was 27. It was too much of nonsense. And this guy that I played 2700, I was like 24. So there's a gap like 300 points, right? Um, so you're not gonna find a lot of people playing rapid. That's my argument. Many people play the fast time control anyway, and that's good enough. Anyways, we're gonna take off. I'll try to be back later today. I'm still working on the ratings. It's gonna be Twitch. We're gonna working on the bullet rating, blitz rating. We're still going for 3,000, even if it takes years. I just the goal is to hit it once. It's not meant to be consistent about it. There's a lot of people who are able to hit it. Why not me though? That's a question. Somebody asked me why can't you just hit it once, and I like the idea. Sure, we could hit it once and we never get to see it again. Or we'll leave it. We'll retire for bullet chess, and he may just have it there for the longest time. So I told my friend, why not just increase it further? It becomes 3,000. Compete with Nakamura himself, try for 3,100, 3,200, But again, ratings there are ways around it. There's a lot of ways you could farm. You play 2 games a day, your best chess for the day, and you play next day. For me, if I'm able to farm and play my best form, I could easily get 3,000 if I'm able to do it. But most of the time, I just play a lot of games per day, and I get careless with my moves. Some of it I'm on the phone, people talking, I'm streaming. There's a lot of things happening during. Um, I felt like Farouja and even Magnus, when they play, this headset could be distraction too. For me, it could, and that's one of the stuff that I was basically saying. One of my viewers told me, "Why can't you just play music, right, in my stream?" And one of the reasons is actually distraction. Even though I could mute the music myself, right? I could have it mute, but for other people, for viewers, but it could be distraction for me in some form. Having it in the background, it takes some resources on the computer. It's This is actually one of the things also when it comes to multi-stream. I know you could do the clouds kind of stuff. I'm not a fan. I would rather do like a separate stream or have it like multi-stream in the same computer, and that would take a lot of resources on the PC, right? So, you know, do you get more viewers? Yes, maybe. Who knows? I just want to like separate things together anyway, and it's just different content for different stuff for different reasons. Just like today, YouTube, we are doing rapid. Twitch is gonna be like bullet blitz. You just separate the two contents so it becomes different, so it doesn't becomes a duplicate. That's my take on it. But speaking about the distraction, yes, music could easily distract me though. I'm not known in the past where I could just put music on and maybe a little bit, but not nothing like nothing nothing like nothing too serious about it. You're underrated in both. Yeah, yeah. I haven't played enough here. Working on the rating. It's gonna, I'm working on different ratings. I'm starting with chess.com first, and then we'll see Elite Chess. Even the Blitz rating is stinks here. Like there's only a few times where I play seriously online. Most of my games here are like, not as 100%. You know, the only limited times. I guess the only time when I played 100% was against like a couple people online. Um, I think maybe one of the streams, one of the guys that I beat, was it 2 days ago? The one that you told me I crushed him. That was one of them, because I was kind of concerned. I was kind of angry, but I did not say it. One of the, you could easily tell when I'm like a little bit concerned, angry, but it's only few minutes at best, few minutes out of like few years. Because I'm used to losing, winning, and it's okay. But it's always fun, win or lose. It's always good. It's sometimes people. That's what I mean by people take the rating so highly, right? That people like, oh, you played the rook, rook versus rook. I sometimes do it, but not all the time. Most of the time, I would just give a draw, right? You would be amazed how many title players would not take it. But there are some who would, right? So that's what I mean. Like, sometimes there's one guy that he wanted to flag me, and I just resigned. Did not even play it through. I felt like, you want to win. He said yes. I told him, okay, take it. I don't want to see it. And I had to block him after. So it's okay. Win or lose is part of the game, and we're doing it for fun, entertaining, and for bingo purposes. But it's always good. All right, we're gonna be back later today. Should happen later today. We'll see about this rating. We should go up a little bit. It goes up and down, but I'm still consistently within 27. I mean, I'm not dropping, and if I drop, it comes back right back up too. So we are trying. We're giving it a little bit of a push. All right. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for tuning in, Downpour. Maybe it's your first time here, but that's always good. We'll be back later tonight. All right, folks. There's no rating here, though. So rating here. So get off, and we'll see you guys later tonight. Take care, folks. Peace. Later.